Welcome to WWP Clips. This is the official Clips channel for We Want Picks. We will be uploading our individual fight breakdown videos here, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And as always, go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. Opening up UFC Long Island, we have Jessica Penne taking on UFC newcomer Emily Ducote. Jessica Penne is 14-5 overall, 2-3 in her last 5, and she is riding a nice 2-fight win streak since her time away from the cage. Emily Ducote is 11-6 overall, 4-1 in her last 5, and she's riding a 3-fight win streak into her UFC debut. Jessica Penne's been fighting since 2006. That's almost 16 years of experience. And during that time, she's picked up skills along the way, and she's become pretty well-rounded. She's not great at any one thing, but she does have okay boxing, solid grappling, and again, she's a well-rounded fighter. She took a 4-year layoff in 2017, but she's come back since then, and she put together 2 wins in the UFC. Her first win was a bad decision over Lupita Godinez, where she was taken down 3 times and outstruck. So I completely disagree with her first win, but her second win was a very solid one. It was a submission over Karolina Kovacevic, where she actually looked pretty good. Emily Ducote stepping in on 6 weeks' notice, so it's not necessarily short notice, but she is stepping up and making her UFC debut. But don't let the debut part fool you. She's got plenty of experience in larger organizations. She's got 8 fights in Bellator. She became the Invicta champion after a few fights there as well. Style-wise, she's a slick counter striker with legitimate power for the division and very good wrestling. She's durable and she's accurate. What she does really well is just throw straight punches and come right down the middle. So if you want to play an outside game, looking to, pick your shots and then throw some looping ones, she is going to throw something straight up the middle, tag you, and then move out of the way. I'm not a big trend person. I don't believe in the trends. Like, you guys have heard me rail the Dana White Contender Series fade. I'm not a big fan of like curses or any of that nonsense. I just believe in watching tape, taking notes, and just bringing legitimate analysis. But with that being said, 5 weeks in a row. 5 weeks in a row. And you guys have been saying this in the comments, and I've been ignoring it. And now we're too far gone to ignore. 5 weeks in a row, the favorite of the opening fight of the card loses. And it hasn't mattered how big of a favorite that fighter is. We just saw it 2 weeks ago. I've been caught my pants down 2 weeks in a row. First, Jessica Rose Clark smoked. And then this past weekend, Ronnie Lawrence was just ragdolled. It wasn't even close. So you guys can do with that information what you want. If you believe in trends and all that, then just bet on Emily Ducote and on Jessica Penne and be done with it, because she is the underdog in this fight. Personally, I think Emily can win this fight, right? I think she should win this fight. She's very patient. She picks her shots well. Her accurate strikes should be able to keep Jessica away and prevent her from losing a clinch war, because that's Jessica Penne's path. Come in here, clinch, 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 push, push, push. Maybe get a takedown. So I think Emily can avoid that fight. Emily's the pick. Jessica has proven she can beat tough opponents. This whole curse trend thing, who knows if that's going to live on or not. But Emily's the pick, but don't touch this fight. I've learned my lesson at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, and actually that trend could go back even farther. I think it's literally like 7 of the last 8 weeks, and the one person that broke it was Blanchfield, who was getting destroyed in the first round by JJ, and she was a big favorite in that fight and found that guillotine to win that fight. So the trend could even go back even further. It's even crazier than it seems. And in this, I think that Jessica is pretty live in this matchup for a couple reasons. One, Emily, by trade, is a wrestler. She was a high school wrestler, a state champion runner-up. So I guess not a state champion runner-up. I guess that's kind of what you call it, but she was a state runner-up as a high school wrestler. She's also a very good striker, as you mentioned as well. She's very poised and very measured in her striking, as she in her fighting in general, right? She will take her time, and I think that works against her for 2 different ways. First of all, Jessica has gotten to the point in her career where she just wants to grapple. She just wants to turn everything into a grappling match. She'll even try to pull guard. Against Carolina, she kind of tripped and fell, but was happy to go on her back and was doing this to Carolina, like come on, let's grapple, let's grapple. And Emily just got her black belt. She's a very fresh black belt, so she can grapple, but Penne is going to have the advantage probably in the just pure grappling. And the two things that worry me is Emily's wrestling background, and she just got her black belt, might not be scared to go into the guard of Penne, which is probably her best chance to win this fight. Or two, Jessica, because she is so well versed in the grappling, Emily might be scared to go into the grappling and just kind of work that distance fighting and not do enough to win a decision. Because I've seen fights of hers before where she is very, very passive. And she is good once she starts going, but if Jessica doesn't engage and kind of, gets the strikes from the outside, she could win a weird decision. So this is another one of those those first card fights where it's like, who the hell knows what's going to happen? You have a UFC newcomer versus a vet, and the vet's very, very good at one thing, and that is in the grappling game. So, my pick is going to be Emily. I think that she has the wrestling to control it if it goes to the ground, but if I'm Emily, I don't go to the ground with Jessica. I try to pick her apart, wait for her to come in, counter, move away, win your decision. But, we'll see what happens on the opening fight. My pick's Emily, but I think Jessica's pretty live, honestly. I'm scared.
Yeah, 100%. Don't touch this fight. You have a legitimate gambling problem if you just insist on betting on this fight. Just leave it alone. We got 12 fights to pick from. DraftKings-wise, though, I do think you may, one of these women may score really well, or they'll both score nothing, right? Like Jessica Penne could get those takedowns, could get some control time, and could score somewhat well. Emily, like you said, she's got some wrestling. She could work in there, get takedowns, and score really well. If you want one of them in your lineup, then just pick your side because they're evenly priced. But I will likely avoid this because I don't think there's really any chance for a stoppage. I think this is mostly Emily just picking her shots, staying away, and not getting taken down. And I don't think that scores very well in DraftKings. What do you think?
Yeah, and this honestly could be, I hate to play both sides. It could be, I just said it could be a Jessica win, but this could be an absolute mauling by Emily. If she is as good as we think she is with her wrestling and her control, maybe she just goes into Jessica's guard and just is able to withstand everything and just throws elbows and just literally beats the crap out of her. So I think Emily is probably the better value because she probably is going to have some top control. She just has to worry about those bottom submissions. I don't like Jessica because I don't think she's going to get takedowns on her own unless Emily wants to go to the ground with her. So I think the better value is probably on Emily here.
Yeah. Like I said, I probably won't touch on DraftKings, but certainly if you're confident, go for it. Money line, same thing. Don't touch the money line. There's no point. We got plenty of fights to pick from. It's too close to jump on somebody here. But the Monkey Knife Fight strike line, the problem with Emily is she can be gun shy. She doesn't let her hands go. She is more of a counter striker. So the 66 worries me a bit, but 66 is still low for women's MMA. Just total strikes landed. This is not significant. It's literally total. And with Jessica looking to grapple, we may get some of those pot shots to drag that up. More is probably the Monkey Knife Fight play. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just Emily's ability to not get in firefights because she is a very good, patient fighter worries me a little bit. So this is probably one I would stay away, but I think the better play is probably more.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out Monkey Knife Fight, it is daily fantasy. It's a ton of fun. All you need to do is say more or less on the strike line. You can triple your money. WeWantPicks.com/MKF if you want to check that out. They will match your deposit. And if you want $50, WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.